So today we are welcoming Tsachi Maimon, CEO of Aspire Global. Welcome.
Hi, thank you very much, Jonathan.
You presented a strong Q3 yesterday. Revenues increased by around 21% to 40 million euros. What was the main drivers behind the strong growth, would you say?
If I will zoom in on the drivers in the Q3, so I think the fact that the sport event were opening up at around June, so we saw our partners that have a sport product increasing their revenues from sport. So it was very nice to see this growth in Q3 from the sports event. This is one driver that went very well. And the second one is something that we expected when we acquired the Pariplay. So not only to have the cost saving, but also revenue synergies. Now those revenue synergies between Pariplay and Aspire also brought Pariplay to grow more than 60-70% year over year.
Your EBITDA result showed a strong growth with an increase of 26%, with a margin of 16.4%. Can you please elaborate a bit on the drivers behind the better margin performance? Is it the strong B2B segment, Pariplay, or can you just elaborate a bit on that, please?
So, when we check out the different business lines that we have, so we saw that also the pure Aspire platform product, we saw that the margins are going up. It's probably because, for a long time, we increased our income from taxed markets. So when you work in such a dynamic for a long time, you are starting to be more efficient. So from the efficiency, this is one thing that made the margins to go up. And of course, the fact that the Pariplay's margins improved nicely in the last few months. This is something that also taking the whole group to higher levels. So this is something that we saw those two main reasons for higher margins.
It's truly impressive. Your game aggregator and studio Pariplay shows an impressive growth of around 70% in both revenue and EBITDA. Can you say something about the performance from the subs segment in Q3?
So, Pariplay had and still have a very strong product. And they have also very good contracts on the table with leading operators. So I think that the fact that the Aspire Global is an umbrella to Pariplay, providing Pariplay the ability, to be under a strong public company, it makes everything a little bit more transparent, more credible towards operators. So I think that the momentum that we started seeing in the few months is a combination of product, the umbrella of Aspire and Pariplay, and this is something that we believe will drive Pariplay even stronger in the future. It's a pure win-win situation, what we have succeeding to achieve.
And the trading update for the beginning of the Q4 with a growth around 32% is really strong. Do you see a good business momentum in all of your sub-segments?
So yes, this is something that we saw in all the business lines in Q1. In October, in the first months of Q4. So Pariplay is continuing to roll out their contracts that they already signed. Bet2Bet is amazing. Out of the 32 operators that they have, only 21 is live. So they have around 11, that are about to go live in the coming months. And one of them is the huge Betfair. So we have high expectations also from Bet2Bet. It's something that slowly we will see how it will support the Aspire Global profitability very strong and materially next year.
You mentioned that your new sub-segment and acquisition, the sportbook provider BetterBet, expect to have a material impact on the total Aspire group for 2021. How did BetterBet develop within the past quarter, Q3? If we start there.
We put some of their numbers already in the report. We can see that they almost doubled themselves from last year. So it's true, it's still a small company with very high potential, but it is impressive that such a company in a very competitive arena are succeeding to almost double themselves. So Q3 was a strong quarter, and we also saw that in only 9 months in 2020, they already above the full year of 2019. So I think that this is something that makes the acquisition, sometimes after an acquisition, you feel, was it a good one, not good one? So the long process that we are taking also with PariPlay and BetterBet are proving itself. We want a quality product, and I'm happy that BetterBet is also a very strong and quality product.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a good feeling for you. So can you give us some more information about the strategy for BetterBet? Will their primary focus be on the South American markets, such as Colombia, or how does the growth strategy look like, could you say?
So BetterBet has succeeded to position themselves as the go-to platform for Africa and Latin America. I believe that in the coming years, let's say 2-3 years, the Latin America will be a more growing jurisdiction for BetterBet than Africa. Africa will be there and will continue to grow, but more in the next 6, 7, 8 years. It's a little bit slower market. The Latin America with Colombia and Mexico and Brazil soon to be, this is something that we can feel that is coming stronger in the really short term. And also there, BetterBet succeeded having a great position. It's not by mistake that Betfair, after investigating so many platforms out there, they chose us, they chose BetterBet. So this is for the Latin America. But let's not forget that in Europe, now together with Aspire, we are going to conquer also Europe, because Aspire is strong in Europe. We have a lot of presence in Europe. This is our major income coming from. So we believe that the combination between Aspire and BetterBet will make them even stronger in Europe in the coming period.
How do you feel the interest from Europe for BetterBet, would you say?
It's very interesting. There is one of the competitors, SBTech, was sold to drafting to a big B2C in the US. So their B2B arm is now a little bit less in focus. So we want to take advantage of that. Cambia, of course, is a very respectful competitor. They are focusing also in the US. So we believe that there is room to grow in Europe. And we feel the interest. So I hope that we will be able to grab it.
And the last question, with a bigger contribution from high margin segments like PariPlay and BetterBet for the upcoming years, it might seem like your long-term financial targets of an EBITDA margin of 16% looks a bit low. Can you give a short comment on that?
It's true. We will probably, in the long term, will be much more than 16%. Yeah. But when we planned it, the 16%, we knew exactly the industry frame that we are working in, and for 2021 we believe that this was a right target, and we believe that we will meet it. But you're right, for the long term, with the consolidation of BetterBet and PariPlay and the improvement in Aspire, so for the long term, no reason not to have higher margins. And this is something that we are planning for the long-term future, but not for 2021.
Yep. Great. Thank you for your time, Tsachi.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Thank you.
Thank you.